What's up, everyone? Oh shit. I'm just gonna wear a hat today, which is going to fix the problem. And it's super sweet because it has Sonic and Tails on it. What more could anyone ask for? So let's jump right into some Sonic and Sega news. First up, we have the Sega Genesis Classics Collection, which was released today on May 29th, 2018 worldwide. This collection is another blast from the past. And it's also another way that companies are continuing to cash in on the nostalgia of the 1990s. Other recent examples of this have been Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon, two other heroes from the same time period. The difference with those games is that they were remastered in HD. For the Sega Genesis Classics Collection, it's going to be the same two-dimensional games appearing in their old style, returning to a new generation of consoles. Nevertheless, this is brilliant on Sega's part because there are tons of die-hard fans out there, including myself, who will go to the store and either digitally or physically buy a copy of this collection. Never mind the fact that I still have my original Sega Genesis console, plus my Xbox 360, plus my Xbox One, which has Xbox 360 backward compatible games where I can play all of these titles already. Forget about all of that. I need the latest and greatest, and whatever form these games come in, I'm going to buy. The collection comes jam-packed with 50 plus titles from the Sega Genesis era, including some of my personal favorites. We've got the classic arcade game turned console game that was one of the original Genesis games, Altered Beast. We've got Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine thrown in there, Kid Chameleon and its 100 levels that, unless you kept your game console on all day, you would never finish. A few other staples like Toe Jam and Earl, and Vector Man 1 and 2. Of course, we can't forget about Streets of Rage, and last but not least, amongst my personal favorites, the Sonic the Hedgehog collection. However, during my research, I actually discovered that Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles are both omitted from this collection, and I can never seem to figure out why Sonic 3 and Knuckles is always the redheaded stepchild of the collection. There's been a lot of speculation online and within the fan community that this is due to licensing issues with the music for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Let's assume that were true. Couldn't Sega do the same thing that they did with the Sonic & Knuckles collection that was released for PC back in the mid-90s, where they just changed the music for any of the songs that were disputed? And if it has nothing to do with music, then I'm truly dumbfounded. Because I can't imagine that Sega thinks just because Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles didn't sell as much as Sonic 1 or 2, both of which came bundled with the Sega Genesis, that means that the fans don't like it. There is one other key point that I should mention about this collection. It was released for Xbox One, PC, and PlayStation 4, but not Nintendo Switch, which I also find very odd. The biggest new feature that I can find as part of this collection is the fact that you have the ability to mirror your games. So you could actually play side-scrollers right to left instead of left to right, which I guess speaks something towards replayability, though I don't know how much that feature will actually get used. The early reviews seem generally favorable, and for the price target, I can't find much else to complain about. So moving on to our next bit of news. Sonic the Hedgehog tweeted out a 4-pane graphic from Sonic Mania Adventures. At a first glance, it looked pretty innocent. It actually happened to be a funny troll of GDPR, which went into effect late last week. But if you look closely at the text, it mentions something about preparing for a new game announcement. So we can speculate one of two things. Maybe the Sonic team is actually working on a new Sonic game that has not been announced yet. Case 2 would be that Sonic team is finally ready to officially announce the title of the new Sonic racing game, which isn't actually a new game in the sense that the public hasn't heard of it, but new in the sense that a lot of new information is going to be coming out. I tend to think it's probably the second case. Sonic team doesn't seem to be putting out Sonic games any more recent than every 5 years or whenever there's a big anniversary for Sonic, so it seems very unlikely that there would be a brand new Sonic game for modern Sonic or even a follow-up to Sonic Mania coming out after Sonic Mania Plus. Whatever happens, I'm going to be watching E3 very closely and share all the latest news and information with you guys. That's all we have time for today. Until next time.